The internet is an interesting place. As technology has improved, it's become more mainstream and evolved from a limited text-based web of a few sites to a vast medium that most of us seem glued to. Imagine going back in time and trying to tell yourself that people would be putting up most of their lives on Facebook. They'd probably think you were joking. Though honestly, if you did have the ability to time travel, I'd hope you use it for something more interesting than that. As more people got used to using the internet, new opportunities for investment began to spring up and grab the attention of the public. In 2009 it was Kickstarter, and from 2013 we now have Patreon. There's been a lot of discussion on the merits and demerits of Patreon, which is why the concept fascinates me. The fact that the creators receive over $1 million a month through it astounds me, and it must be pretty lucrative given that the site takes a commission of 5%. The average amount given by the patrons is $7, so that means there must be at least 10,000 people giving money each month. The site attracts a wide range of content creators, from podcast makers, critics and journalists, to web artists, musicians and YouTube video creators. I'd use it for the podcast I co-host if I thought enough people liked it and I wasn't so afraid of the tax man. As usual, however, with great popularity also comes criticism, and while some of it is justifiable concerns about scammers, liars, tax evasion, or lax standards in what it allows to be funded, there's also a contingent of people who are upset about the site's mere existence. To some, the idea of people getting paid through the internet for making web content upsets them on a personal level. To that, little really needs to be said. The other thing that gets brought up is that Patreon is a crowdfunding platform, and that people's bad experiences with Kickstarter shows that Patreon is unethical and shouldn't be used. But the fact that they're both crowdfunding systems on the internet is about the only thing the two services share in common. Kickstarter is people soliciting money to fund specific projects that wouldn't get made. It's something that's been exploited in the past, since all that's being sold is a promise, as the people who run Kickstarter aren't able to hold people's feet to the fire, or possibly just don't want to. It gives the illusion of a contract between the donator and the project, but it's a verbal contract upheld by goodwill, one that only works when both sides decide to play ball. Patreon, on the other hand, is a system for people to fund a creative person to do whatever it is they do. If you don't like the way they're spending the money, you can simply stop funding them. You are, in essence, a benefactor. There are no strings or expectations holding the patrons and the people they fund together, apart from the reward tiers that are sometimes offered, giving more freedom to the artist. It's no wonder that people who are fed up on relying on commission work that restricts them, or being part of an industry that relies on the power of the advertisers, are flocking to Patreon. And it's not a new concept, as the name itself attests to. It's patronage. Back in history, most of the money were in the hands of the rich, and so any aspiring artist that wanted to eat had three options. They could go to the people directly and ask them if there was anything that they needed. They were being commissioned by the wealthy to work on particular projects. Another option was to just do as much art as you could and hope people would buy it, generally the option chosen by people who wanted complete artistic freedom, and also the one that created the iconic image of the starving artist. The third option was patronage, which was somewhere between the other two. The rich patrons would support the artists because they liked the work, and the artists would be free to do whatever it is that they like to do, under the proviso that if the patron wanted something done every so often, they'd get it. The main difference is that the feudal system has been replaced by a system where people are paid wages for their work, and they have the choice in how to spend it once all their pressing needs have been met and any savings deducted. So instead of patronage coming from one rich person, it can be spread around many people. And that in itself is arguably better than the previous forms of patronage. Allowing people to give as much as they want allows people who only have a bit of spare cash to participate. With more people becoming patrons, more artists can benefit from it. Not only that, but this also allows people to personally support someone that they wish to see succeed, and that creates personal engagement in the patrons to the work that the artist is creating. While for some people this is not a good idea as it can lead to egotism and drama, it can also lead to a tightly knit community if done correctly. Like all tools, it depends on the person using them. So while I can understand some people's concerns about Patreon, I think that it's ultimately a way for content creators to spend their lives doing the things they want to do. It's not a perfect system of course, but there really is no such thing as a perfect system, and the alternatives are much worse. Most artists are not going to become the new Picasso, and most musicians are not going to hit the top of the charts and land a big record deal. But most content creators just want to be able to create the works that they want to make, without lying awake at night worrying what will happen to their families. Anything that creates opportunities for ethical work can only really be a good thing in my opinion. But what's your opinion on the Patreon boom? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video please give it a like and maybe share it with someone you know. My name's Joseph, and you've been listening to my thoughts on Patreon, a concept over 800 years in the making. I'll speak to you soon.